If you're thinking, no matter how much I achieve, I still get this feeling inside of me like I'm not good enough. Well, if you've got ADHD, you probably know exactly what I mean. You hit the goals, you do the work, you even go home and everyone around you says, mate, you're smashing it. But the truth is this, you still feel like you're a failure inside. That feeling of not being good enough is still consuming you. And it's confusing because logically, you know you're doing well, but emotionally, it's not landing. That's not just insecurity. And that's something that I call the ADHD inner critic. It's that voice in your head that makes you question yourself after every single achievement. Almost like you can't celebrate it, or maybe you're not allowed to celebrate it. It tells you that you're not doing enough, that you should have done more, and that everyone else is somehow further ahead than you. And today, I'm going to show you where that voice really comes from, why it gets louder and louder the more you succeed, and how to finally silence it so you can finally start feeling proud of yourself once and for all. You see, that voice in your head that says, hey, you're lazy, you're inconsistent, you're too much, you're not good enough, that isn't your voice. That's just an echo. It's the sound of other people's expectations of you. Maybe it came from your parents, your teachers at school, your old bosses, all the people who didn't understand how your brain really worked growing up. If you don't realize that maybe you've been arguing with old ghosts, then everything else that I'm going to show you today just won't make sense because you keep trying to fix a problem that was never yours to fix in the first place. Hey, just on a quick sign up before we get back to the video, if you're someone who's just absolutely exhausted and fed up of just trying to figure this whole thing out, maybe you just want a permanent solution and you've heard about the Mind Your ADHD Academy, you just want to learn more about it and how it's transforming lives all around the world in record-breaking time. Well, there's a link below down in the description which explains everything you need to know. Let's get back to the video. Let me give you an example. I worked with a surgeon. We'll call him Dr. S. This guy has been operating for over 20 years as a very renowned surgeon around the world, literally saving lives. But after every single operation, his mind would say, you could have done better. He just could not relax for the life of him. He couldn't celebrate. He just kept replaying tiny mistakes no one else even noticed. But that voice in Dr. S's head, it never started in the operating theatre. It started in a classroom where maybe he was 8 years old, being told off for fidgeting, told to sit still, told to try harder, just told to be like everyone else. So now, even as a man in his 50s, his brain's still trying to rationalise and to prove to that teacher that he is good enough. And that's the truth for so many adults with ADHD today. Your inner critic isn't some random flaw. It's an old defence mechanism that your brain's still trying to rationalise with, and it just hasn't retired yet. So here's what I want you to try. It's something called the courtroom flip. Next time the voice comes up in your head, you're unreliable, you're broken, you're a loser, you're not good enough. Whatever it is, just stop and ask yourself this one question. Say, alright, if this voice was a witness right now in this court, what evidence is it bringing to me? Then write down exactly what the voice is accusing you of. After that, I want you to demand 3 specific examples from just the last 7 days. And if you can't find the evidence, just say out loud, objection, no proof. See, ADHD brains, they don't respond well to vague statements like, hey, I'm just doing fine. We need proof, tangible proof. This flips your own brain's logic on itself. You see, you're using ADHD wiring to defend you, not to destroy you. And that's when you start to learn how to work with your ADHD brain and not against it. But here's where it gets trickier, because that voice inside of your head, that constant criticism, it's not just attacking your performance, but it's attacking your self-worth. And unless you can separate those two things together, performance and worth, well, you'll keep punishing yourself for being a human. And that's why the next thing I'm going to share with you might be more important than the first thing. So let me explain what this looks like. I'm going to tell you about someone right now inside of the Mind Your ADHD Academy. We'll call her Susan. She grew up only being loved when she behaved perfectly. But now as an adult, when she forgets something small or misses a quick message, her body goes into anxiety mode. She starts to panic like she's in trouble again. But she's not reacting to the mistake. She's reacting to the feeling of just not being good enough. And that's what happens to so many people with ADHD. We've spent years connecting our value to how well we perform. So every small dip feels like rejection. Every break feels like failure. So here's what I told her to do, and I want you to try this too. It's called the 90-second wraparound. The next time that shame hits, put your hand on your chest. Just take one slow breath. Then talk out loud to that younger version of you. Literally say, I know that you're scared of messing up, but you're safe now. We can fix this without hating ourselves. And then take one tiny action. Send that text, send that reminder, or just lay out your clothes for tomorrow. You're teaching your nervous system when you do this that mistakes are safe. And that's how you break a lifetime of shame in under 2 minutes. It sounds simple, right? But it's very effective, and it rewires the emotional memory behind the critic, that negative self-talk, faster than any affirmation ever could. But here's the thing, understanding and soothing alone isn't sustainable. If you don't rebuild your evidence each week that you are capable, your brain will just default to the old script. So this next part is the missing piece that's going to complete the whole puzzle. But before we get to that, let me just first tell you a story about a guy called Jay, a senior manager. He provides for his family, he works hard, and to everyone else, he's so successful. But his brain only ever stores failures. Wins just slide off him. So I told him, we're not doing gratitude lists, we're building proof. He looked at me quite funny when I said this to him, but here's what we did, and you can try it right now. Grab your phone and open up a new album and call it the Proof Album. All week, take photos of small moments that reflect who you want to be. Moments of control, patience, presence, follow through. Maybe you paused before snapping at someone. Maybe you left work on time to read to your kids before they go to bed and spend that quality time with them. Maybe you sensed that awkward email that you maybe been avoiding for many weeks. At the end of the week, I want you to record a 2-minute voice note and start this voice note by saying what these photos prove about me this week is, then choose 3 of them and tag them as character wins. And why does this work? You see, ADHD brains forget words, but they remember visuals. So by doing this, you are literally showing your mind that you are more capable than you think. Not someday, not next week, but right now. And once your brain has some real hard proof, that critic, that negative self-talk inside of you has no case left to make. But before you start building your proof bank, you need to first understand why your motivation disappears so fast in the first place. Because until you fix that, this confidence will never stick. And that's exactly what I break down in this video right here about the ADHD dopamine trap and why you lose interest so fast. So go watch this because it's the missing key that will make this new mindset actually last.